Okay, so on today's episode, I have got this really fun chopper I cannot wait to use. He's like a little alligator. Chomp! All right, so before I can get to chomping all of my peppers, my tomatoes, my onions, I am going to have to core them first. So I have my little pepper corer from our friends at Jokari, where here you have one side is actually a serrated little knife, so I can just pierce right through that pepper and I can get through the top, so I can take all the parts out of the middle that I just don't want, right? Okay, so today we're actually going to do skirt steak barbacoa tacos and chicken fajita tacos. So I know you're used to seeing it with a loose tortilla shell, but I'm actually gonna make fresh, homemade taco shells. And that's gonna be a really fun way to do taco night. All right, so I'm just gonna get all the little seeds out of here. Well, the other end of this core is actually a little scooper. So I was able to cut through the top and then scoop through the bottom. Okay? Now I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a slice and prep it. I love this little core. You just get right into things. Just pops right in. And you can use it for any peppers. I got green peppers and jalapeno peppers today. But I've used them on poblano, cubano. If it's a pepper, this thing can handle it. All right, so same thing, I got a ton of seeds on the inside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the scooper and take everything out. All right, I'm gonna just slice this one up. All right, now I'm just gonna get and prep my onion. And get my chopper going. Okay, so I've prepped all of my peppers and my onions and I'm ready to chop it up. Okay, so here I've got my chopper. Now all you're gonna do is just put in your pieces. Now for this, really for any chopper, you wanna kind of put some gusto into it, okay? The choppers need a little bit of oomph when you wanna chop. So this is the same way. So I want you to think of a gator and just go chop, okay? Don't be afraid of it. It's gonna make a sound. It's supposed to because it's chopping. So you see all of my pepper pieces are down there at the bottom. Now for this, I'm doing chopped pepper because I'm putting them in a taco. So traditionally in a fajita, they'd be long strips, but for a taco, I need to make them smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my peppers, and you can really hear the power this little chopper has. Now I'm also gonna be doing a little salsa topper with this as well. And I'm gonna be adding some of this into my guacamole that I'm gonna make. All right, let me see. All right, I think that's perfect. So let me just now do some onions. So I'm just gonna take this piece out. Now look at the little diced peppers that I have. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that apart. I'm gonna put my peppers here. Oh, I forgot my jalapeno. Let me put him back. I can't forget him, he's kind of important. All right, jalapeno, check. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a plate here so you can see just how perfectly chopped they are. There you go. I mean, that's gonna be awesome in our tacos. All right, now I'm gonna do some tomatoes and onions. All right, so now for the onions, the same thing, just give them a nice, good, healthy chop, and they're just gonna chop right up for you. And I love this because there's not all that crying when it comes to chopping the onions. You want to get them this small. You have to really do a really big dice job, and you're going to have to stay over that onion for a really long time to get them to be this small. So we don't have time for that. All right, here we go. One more. I mean, hey, Gadget Queen gotta get on top of this thing. That's how it has to be done. Sometimes you just gotta put your whole body into a gadget, and that's what one of these are. All right, so I got a lot of onions here. Next up, I got tomatoes. All right, so now I have my tomatoes because I'm gonna do a little salsa. So go ahead and chop that up. We're waking the neighbors with this chopper, right? Now, I'm using it for our big taco night, but think about it. How about an omelet where you want all these finely diced veggies in that? That would be perfect. There you go. A whole big batch of finely diced salsa tomatoes ready to go. All right, now this is a gadget I have been so excited using at home because look at how funky it is. All right, this is from Jokari, and this is all about making that perfect guacamole. Okay, so this is gonna get into the avocado, which sometimes can be a little bit tougher for people to get to, but this is the gadget to get you there. All right, so it's got a little serrated edge here. It's like a little knife. So you're gonna use that to just go ahead and cut down the line of your avocado. Make sure that it's ripe and ready to go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut down the line. Okay, now when you get it, all you just wanna do is twist, right? So now the pieces are separate. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this and show you. So you see this piece here, it's kind of like a big fan blade. It's the perfect size to actually get in and scoop up the avocado, and you're actually gonna cut it at the same time. So I have my guacamole bowl here. I mean, come on, I've been so excited to use this thing. All right, so you go ahead and go right in, and it just slices it up, and then you push it through, and then that's it. So you're already halfway there to getting it ready for the guac. And then here at the bottom, you're actually gonna use this to kind of mash it down, and then you're gonna add your tomatoes, your cilantro, your onions. It's gonna be as easy as that. All right, let me get the rest of these avocados going. Okay, so another fun tip that I've learned along the way is that if you actually take off the top end of an avocado, you can actually see a little bit of what's inside, so you can tell if it's right. So if you take off that little top piece and you see that it's a nice color green, then you know your avocado is ready to go. All right, so let me take this. Just go ahead. I mean, I know avocado toast is a really big deal these days, but honestly, avocado in anything is so good, like salads, sandwiches, and because this is already dicing it up, you're just gonna save that much more time. It's that quick and easy. Now, I have this end to smash it, but I also have this guy too. So either one, however you wanna do it, but just don't use a boring fork. Find something fun, okay? So, but this one is what we're gonna use today because it's just already connected to the base. So we're gonna go ahead and give them a little smash. And you can see, just smashing it up, perfect. We don't want it too smashed though, we still want like some big chunks in there. You know, that's kind of the best part about the guac, right? You get those nice big chunks in there every now and then. Perfect. All right, now I'm gonna add some tomatoes and onions into here. Because they're finely diced, I know it's gonna be the perfect amount. All right, give that a mix. Now I'm gonna hit this with a little lime juice and a little cilantro, okay? And you know who I'm always using, Juice Bruce. This guy has had a workout all season long. All right, here we go. Here we go, Bruce. Don't let me down, you haven't yet. And then my cilantro here, put that in there and just mix that up. I mean, I feel like I'm at one of those restaurants where I'm doing it for you tableside. You're gonna pay an extra $5, but it's worth it. All right. All right, now that our guac is all done, we're gonna go ahead and make our homemade taco shells. Okay, now I know buying your own taco shells in the kit is just a lot easier. I totally get it, but I did find a couple cool little gadgets if you want to make your own taco shells at home that you're gonna fry yourself. And when you fry it yourself, it's gonna be so fresh when you're making all these other taco items with all the other fresh ingredients. So this is actually from our friends at Shellminator. I love the cool, fun name. And these will help you make perfect taco shells at home. Now this one that's metal is meant for frying in the pan, and this one that's green is actually microwavable. So if you don't want to fry one, you can actually just pop it in the microwave. But today we are going to fry one. So I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so there's a little insert on the inside, and all you're going to do is get the little tortilla shells, and then you wrap it around, and then you just place them into the little case, and then you just fry them. And then you're gonna have perfect tacos that you made at home. All right, so let's go ahead and make some. All right, so we'll pop this in. All right, so it looks like we're about ready to flip it around. All right, there we go. We're so close to having fresh taco shells. All right, so it looks like our taco is ready. So we're gonna take a look, and remember, it's gonna be hot. So when you wanna go ahead and take off the pieces and separate them, just do it very carefully. Oh, look at that, a perfect taco. All right, now that is way better than store-bought. Super homemade, well, semi-homemade, I guess. But definitely fresher than anything you're gonna get out of a box. So I'm gonna make a few more so I can start making my Jurassic meat.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value. All delivered straight to your home with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
All right, now it's time to cook our Jurassic meats. Now, I really only call them Jurassic meats because I got all my dinosaurs everywhere, but hey, we're gonna go with the theme, all right? So first up, I have skirt steak. Now today, I'm using a really cool high-tech pan system by our friends at Heston Q. Now I want you to take a look at this, okay? So the pan and the burner are actually all digital, and they talk to each other. So this isn't just kind of a hot plate situation. It actually regulates the temperature based on what you're cooking, and you control everything with your phone on a dedicated app. So when it wants to have you flip the skirt steak, it's gonna tell you, flip the skirt steak. Same thing with the chicken. So the Heston Q is actually gonna do all the work, and I'm just gonna use my phone to actually cook our meat. So let me show you how this works. So I have all the recipes already built into the app. It already comes with thousands of things to cook, so if you have no idea or no clue, it will actually help you. So here I'm just gonna type in skirt steak, and skirt steak is gonna pop up. Okay, now for this, I'm gonna do pink and juicy. That is actually the chef's choice that is on here. Okay, now it says add the steaks. Now, I have to tell you, I've never been the biggest fan of skirt steak because to me, it's been such a tough cut of meat. It's hard to kind of cook it properly to get it to be nice and tender. But what I found is when you actually get good skirt steak meat, it actually cooks up really great. And the one I got from Happy to Meet You is just that. So with this, it's going to be perfectly tender and kind of a nice softness, whereas typically skirt steak I feel like is just so tough. And plus, the Heston Q is going to make sure that we cook it perfect and we don't mess anything up. So that definitely helps. All right, so the app says I'm ready to flip, so I'm going to go ahead and flip. And that is perfectly seared. Just another few minutes and I'll be done, and then I'll get to my chicken. Okay, so these are perfectly cooked and they're ready to go. Now, I'm going to get my chicken in there and then I'm going to shred these up to put into our tacos. Now, next up is my chicken, and same thing. The Heston Q is going to tell me everything to do. So it just told me to measure and add my olive oil, so I just did that. Now the next step is to dry the chicken. I'm already a step ahead though, so I already have that done. And then it says to season the chicken, which I've already done. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. Okay? Let's add the chicken. Now it's always also going to ask you before you start how thick your meat is that you're cooking, because that's going to be very important. And it actually will come with a little measuring stick, so that way you know exactly how high in inches your meat is. So it's going to cook perfect. All right, now for this, we're just going to let it go and let my app do the work. It says it's searing the chicken, and should be ready in about 9 minutes. So the great thing with the Heston Q is that you can be doing so many other things while this is cooking, your meat especially, because so often when you have something cooking on the stove with an open flame, you can't roam around the kitchen with an open flame, but this, it only is heating the pan. So it's going to be way less dangerous than having the stove on and trying to do some other things around the house. So for this is perfect because it's cooking the chicken and I can get ready for everything else that I'm making, whether it was the guacamole, whether it's shredding this skirt steak, which I'm about to do. Everything is already done for me and ready to go, so I don't have to worry about the meat. Now I'm going to come back in a few minutes to flip it, and in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and shred my skirt steak. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some onions and my diced peppers in with the chicken as well, but they're going to be for both the chicken as well as the skirt steak. So I've got 2 sauces that I'm going to add to them a little bit later on. I've got my barbacoa sauce, as well as my fajita mix sauce. And I'm going to put this in with both of those. Now, the Heston Q does allow for a little bit of wiggle room. If you want to adjust the temperature and make something kind of on your own, you can absolutely do that. But really, if you just want to go with what the app tells you, you can do that too. Okay, so my next step is to flip the chicken, and it's my phone that's been telling me how long to wait for until I have to flip. So it looks like I've got only 6 seconds left, and then it's going to say flip. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, and then it says to go ahead and flip. All right, flip the chicken. I'm not sure it gets much easier than that. Look how great that is. It's perfectly seared on the sides, and I'm going to hit next step. And then it's going to give me another about 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes, and then my chicken will be done and I'll be ready to shred. All right, so now that my chicken's doing its own thing, I can do something else. So I'm going to just prep my salsa here and get that ready to go. So I'm just going to take all of my diced tomatoes and my onion, put that all together. A little bit of peppers too. And then into this, I'm gonna add some cilantro and then a little bit more lime juice. All right, then I'm gonna do some salt, and I'm just gonna give this a nice little mix. And my salsa is ready. So I'm gonna get this together with the guac and come back and do the meats. All right, so we've only got about 20 seconds or so left until this chicken is done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut it open for you so you can see that it is perfectly cooked, because so often, how many of us cook a chicken breast and we end up cutting into one just to make sure that it's cooked because we're so worried that we're gonna eat undercooked chicken? Well, with this, you don't have to worry. All right, so we're locked in, 2, 1, and we're done. All right, so it says remove the chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. I'm gonna put my phone down because I don't need it now. All right, now I'm gonna show you the back side here. So you can see that that is cooked. Both sides are cooked. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut into one so you can see what it looks like on the inside. All right. Just cut right through the center. Okay, there we go. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. That's perfectly cooked. I mean, there's nothing you can say about that.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value, all delivered straight to your home, with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
Okay, now you cannot have taco night without a little quesadilla. So I'm gonna squeeze in a quick quesadilla for us before we get to our tacos. Okay, so all I'm gonna do here is take this Cuisinart sandwich maker. You're just gonna spray it down. I'm gonna put in my tortilla shells, and I've already cut them into squares. All right, just gonna go ahead and set it down, and then it'll be done in like a minute. And now here's another really great meal idea from our friends at Happy to Meet You.
Hi, I'm Stacy, and I gotta say, nothing says love in the kitchen like a sheet pan dinner. Why? Well, they're super easy, and you can make almost anything on top of them, and I'm really excited to bring you one of my favorite all-time recipes ever, a sheet pan curry chicken with cauliflower. So to start this, we're gonna build the curry paste and all the flavor. So we're gonna take a couple of cloves of garlic that you can mince or just, zest, use a microplane. Then about an inch piece of ginger that you also have zest. Coconut oil, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. And we have the garam masala. We have, love the curry. And I like a Madras curry, but you can use whatever type you want. And some turmeric, which is gonna give it this beautiful bright orange color. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is just kind of mix this around and get all the spices incorporated. Now, as far as the chicken goes, you can use really whatever type of chicken you want. Lots of times I do chicken thighs with this recipe, but I was happy and lucky to get my hands on these beautiful chicken breasts from Happy to Meet You. This is organic chicken straight from the Amish farm, so no antibiotics, no hormones, none of that, which makes me feel really good about feeding that to my family. So with the chicken breasts, I just cut them up into bite-sized pieces. Then you want to take a whole head of cauliflower and you want to break it down into florets, and you're just going to add that into the bowl. And really that's it. You made your curry paste, You cut up your chicken, even if it's chicken thighs, cut those up as well, because this is really nice to have everything bite-sized. Add in the cauliflower and you can give this a mix. All right, so that's looking good to me. I always like to top it off with just a little bit of salt before I get it under the heat, and always some fresh ground black pepper. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and we get a nice even layer. So we wanna make sure that we can spread this out, and we're gonna pop this into 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And looking good. All right, oh, perfect. There you have it, another easy meal on the table fast with a lot less cleanup. Sheet pan curry, chicken cauliflower. Susie, back to you.
Okay, now it's everyone's favorite part. We're gonna stuff these tacos, and I have my little Jurassic theme happening here. So I've got my Brontosaurus, my Stegosaurus, my Triceratops, but I saved the T-Rex for last. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my skirt steak, my beef barbacoa, I got a little barbacoa sauce there, and put them into the shells that I made that weren't store-bought. Thank you very much. All right, pile that nice and high. Now, you could definitely use a normal flat shell tortilla. And if you're gonna do that, I actually have a little gadget for you. If you've seen one of these out there, this actually is really great for making your tortillas softer. So if you are gonna do a little roll-up action, at least do me the courtesy of using a gadget to actually warm up the tortillas. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. Add a little bit more salsa. Gonna add a little bit of cheese. All right, and he's ready to go. Now I'm gonna do chicken. And the chicken, I added my fajita sauce. So it's my fajita taco. Now for this one, I'm gonna do salsa and lettuce. Oh man, this smells really good. Okay. Okay, gonna add that on there. All right, then top it off with a little cheese. And then you just set them in to the little T-Rex. Now, I mean, listen, we didn't have to use all the dinos today, and if you don't want to go with the dino route, you have these little guys. These are actually from our friends at Jokari, and they are little taco holders. So you can definitely put your taco in there if you want. I think my pitch is totally off, but you get the point. So it's our Jurassic meat episode, and here's everything we did with all of our fun gadgets. We made our own taco shells with our Shellminator. We made our own fresh guacamole with our little avocado tool from Jokari. We also have our little taco stand from Jokari, and we made an awesome, really quick 1-minute quesadilla in our Cuisinart. And we also cooked both the skirt steak as well as the chicken in our Heston Q, and we did it through our phone, and we didn't really even have to pay attention to it. This has been the Jurassic meat episode. I hope you loved all the gadgets today. Follow us on social media for more fun at Gadget Queen TV and Susie Hassan TV, and you'll see why they call me the Gadget Queen. I'll see you next time.